What were some of the risks that you really weren't sure about? Just in broad strokes that you were like, "Hey, all bets are off. This is new territory. I know it's risky, but I'm going to do it anyway." But was there something like that that happened?
Well, interesting. Let's go back 10 years. Let's go back to, Amazon. People are shopping online and everybody talked 10 years ago, oh, Amazon, it's going to be the retail Armageddon. Who's going to ever shop live in a store again if Amazon and e-commerce is going to own the world? And then the pandemic happens, right? And if ever there was going to be a dagger in the bricks and mortar business, it's when your and my mother are now shopping on Instacart and getting and
Right.
buying products from Amazon and getting
Right.
things online. You've got a whole world of age ranges that now have become incredibly computer savvy. So
Yeah.
we were only worried about that younger generation that was going to grow up with e-commerce, but now we lost our core customer too, you
Yeah.
know? And so, yeah, that was a huge risk. It's like, is there going to be a second wave of this, bricks and mortar rebound? Or is, Amazon and e-commerce going to really land that knockout punch that so many people were anticipating that it might? So yeah, that was a really big risk. Particularly, look, I made my career out of being in the retail business, so it was one I was going to have to navigate, regardless of where I landed.
Sure.
But I elected to take this job for a number of reasons. And Mr. Tanger, who was the CEO at the time when he hired me, only the second CEO in the 50-year history of the company. I'm the third. I've known him for a long time. I've been in the business for a really long time. When we had our conversations about the business prior to my joining, that's one of the things that we talked about. And I said, um, you know, how I'm sort of, he's interviewing me, yet I'm interviewing him. And one of the questions I said is, how sacred is the notion of pure play outlet shopping? Because it's, in my experience, the retailers have to be far more experiential. The stores have to be a lot more of a physical place
Yeah.
than just a place to grab a product and go. You really have to compete. And the
Yeah.
one thing that retailers have to do to win in this environment is customer service. That's the main difference between shopping online, shopping in the physical space. They're solving for the speed to market. They're solving for a lot of things, but it's really that customer experience, somebody with product knowledge telling you why you need to buy this over that, or explaining how to use what the 50 applications you wouldn't even think about there are for the fabulous, diamond line pan that you're about to buy, or, all these different products that you would never have, that you thought were just one trick ponies, but have 20 or 30 applications, because customer service is going to help you make those decisions. And to me, Mr. Tanger said to me, he goes, look, whatever you believe you need to do in order to improve the on-center shopping experience, there are no sacred cows. Let's go. Let's go figure that out. So they said, so that was sort of my, I would say, launching pad. Here's a platform that is ripe to pivot, willing to pivot, and we're going to lean really heavily into the thing that you can't get in a non-bricks and mortar environment, and we're going to make ourselves. We're going to be famous for that. We're going to make sure that all the retailers we do business with, the restaurants, all the different experiential uses we put in these centers, that is going to be part of our ethos. Is what differentiates bricks and mortar from the rest of the field. And I think we were front runners with regard to working with our retailers, partnering with them, making sure that they knew that we were there from a merchandising point of view. What real estate company is a merchandiser? We do. What real estate company has a marketing team of 50 people that is there in support of the brands to make sure that they get their
Yeah.
messaging out?
That's an
That's what
amazing,
we do.
yeah, that's an amazing asset. And at the time, it's risky, right? Not only are you interviewing, and you're interviewing them, but I think I've said this to you in other conversations, and this is not blowing smoke up, you know what, but timing, we create our own timing. We create our own luck. I believe that people, cause themselves to be in the right place at the right time. It might appear as the luck or timing is on your side, but boy, in your career and how things were going, what they were so fortunate to have you, and you were so fortunate to cross with them at that time. Is that an accurate view of that for you?
Yeah, I guess I look. I never discount luck. I honestly, you you can't discount luck and have any shred of humility whatsoever, because and I also agree with you. You have to create the luck too. You've got to put yourself out there. You've got to be willing to take some chances. You know, and that's chance and luck definitely survive on the same continuum, right? Because if you don't take it, you never know how lucky you could get.
Right.
Um,
One
so
feeds
I
the
think
other.
I think here's a great example of us taking some luck and using it to our advantage. Were we lucky that the government was writing stimulus checks and people were taking that money and going out and shopping? Yeah. Were we lucky when 1.5 million square feet of tenants went out of business? No. But were we lucky that enclosed shopping centers wouldn't open at a time that open air shopping centers could, and a lot of those businesses and brands and restaurants moved into our center? Yeah, I guess that was pretty lucky. Were we lucky that there was no international travel? So everybody was stuck domestically. And if they wanted to do something, they needed to stay close to home or at least someplace that you could drive a car. And are we lucky that we are drive to tourist destinations in places like Charleston, Savannah, Sevierville, Tennessee, home of Dollywood? Places like that
Sure.
people have been visiting these domestic tourists. So yeah, I guess there's a lot of luck there. But how do but we figured out how to turn that into a business model that really worked for us.